Hey, it's Justin from XOGO. Now, we recently had a major release and we introduced XOGO Manager version 3.0 to the world. It looks similar to the old one, but there's a few differences. There's some new features and functionality and some performance enhancements as well. So I wanted to create an updated kind of introductory video to just show people that are setting it up for the first time how you can do the basic tasks in XOGO Manager, like adding content to your account, creating playlists of that content, and assigning those playlists to the players. We're going to have some additional tutorial videos coming up in coming days and weeks to dive into some of the more advanced features that are new as well. But let's go ahead and get started. First thing, I'm just going to log into my XOGO Manager account. Now, as you probably know, as a XOGO user, XOGO essentially consists of two components. The first is XOGO Manager, where you control all the content and players. The second component is XOGO Player, which looks like this. Now, I have it running in a web browser. It's available for you as well at player.xogo.io. Of course, XOGO Player comes pre-installed on your XOGO Mini Macs. It's also available for many other platforms, from LG commercial displays to Windows PCs, Fire Sticks, Chrome devices, iOS devices. We run on pretty much everything, but for purposes of this demo or tutorial, I'll just run XOGO Player here in a web browser. And we're going to come back to the player, but first, let's go into XOGO Manager, and I want to introduce you to the three main components, which are the library of content, and then we're going to build a playlist and assign it to this player over here. Let's click into the library first of all. What do we see in here? Essentially all the types of content that we support. So first would be images, and you can see we can flip through these really quickly. Images, we support both JPEGs and PNGs, so you can use essentially any editing program under the sun, from Illustrator, if you're a graphic designer, to tools like Canva, Poster My Wall, even PowerPoint for that matter. You can go file export your files to a JPEG or PNG, and then load them here into XOGO. Now, when you click on any image or video, you're also going to see some additional data down here, like the file resolution, file size, the length if it's a video, even the codec that it was created with, and that helps our support team when necessary to analyze any playback issues that you might be having. It's also good for the users though, because you can click onto any item and see what the resolution is. For instance, am I trying to send 8K video content to a player that's only capable of playing 1080 or 4K, for example? So similar thing, if I click on a video here, you'll see the resolution, duration, file size, etc. And if I let this load, it will actually display a playable thumbnail of the video itself. Next thing in the list, we do support URLs. URLs can be anything from google.com to your corporate intranet page, but more often people are running infotainment content, like this one from our friends at Signage in Belgium. It is an Instagram feed. Essentially, these guys, separate company from us, but we have a lot of customers using them. They pull in things like news, weather, sports, trivia, Instagram, Power BI content. It's served up as a URL, so it can be dropped into your XOGO playlist and played on your players alongside your own content. The last category would be widgets over here. We do offer a number of widgets just for doing simple things like putting time, date, temperature up on the screen, a simple text note. We do countdown timers. So it's an easy way for you to get content up there. Essentially, for this weather one that you're seeing, you can type in any city in the world. It's going to pull in local time, date, temperature. You can display it in Celsius or Fahrenheit. You can change the colors however you would like to, so you can match your company branding, for example. Just kind of a cool feature, and we have more of these coming out in the near future as well. So let's go back here. Now, I don't need to actually upload any content. I'm just going to home because I already have tons of it. If I did, though, for most functions, most things you're going to do within XOGO, you're going to be working with this conspicuous blue button in the top right corner. So this is where we would add media as an upload. By the way, you can do bulk uploads and upload multiple things at once. Go have a coffee, come back, all your videos are uploaded. Makes things a bit easier. This is where we would add our URLs, overlays, widgets, etc. Now, in our case, since we have the content already, we're going to make a playlist of the content, and then we're going to assign it to a player. So first, let's start with playlist. I'm just going to create one. I think I have a front lobby and something else, so let's call this one manufacturing floor, just as an example. Then I'm going to go over here and click on plus add items. Now, similar to the library, I can filter through these. I can even search by the name of a file I'm looking for, but I'm just going to keep it easy, leave it on all. Let's add a JPEG and a couple of videos in here, and maybe that cool Instagram feed. Now, a few things we can do as we're creating the playlist. First off, I can just drag and drop if I want to change the playback order. So in our case, maybe I want this Instagram feed to show up first. I want an image, and then I want a couple of videos to play. We're just adjusting by dragging and dropping the order in which they play back on this constant loop. You're going to see some resolution data here. This is where we would change durations as well. This is important. So you'll see these two files, because they're videos, they're going to play in their entirety. But any other sort of file, image, widget URL, we can adjust the duration here, or how long it's going to be on screen, in other words, before it flips to the next thing. By default, we have a 15-second duration that's set, but you can actually go crazy and set things to be as short as 1 second or as long as 24 hours to be on screen before the next thing comes on. So I'm just going to leave these at 15 seconds. Another thing I want to mention is auto delete, which is a new feature. If we turn this on, you may have instances in which you want to display something on a screen, a happy birthday message, welcoming a visitor, something of that nature, and you only want it to be on the screen for a couple of hours, maybe the whole day, but then you don't want it to appear anymore. Well, you used to have to go into XOGO and go into the playlist, delete it out of the playlist. Now you can just do auto delete and select the date and time right down to the minute when you no longer want that item to appear, and it'll auto delete itself. So pretty cool new feature. I'm going to leave that one turned off. Let's go ahead to save. Now I have a playlist. Last thing I want to talk about though is scheduling. So we're going to click on scheduling here, and if I reduce these accordion menus, you'll see we've got our Sunday through Saturday schedule. Now, by default, everything is set to play 24/7. If I wanted to adjust this, classic example, I'm a restaurant, I want to have a breakfast menu, and I want to have it play, until just about noon, and then I want a lunch menu to kick in. Well, we can do that here. We can either just drag these blue bars to the left or right to adjust the timing. I like to click on the pencil and get really precise to the minute. So let's go ahead and set, it's going to start playing whenever I turn it on in the morning. And let's have this go to 11:59 a.m. And then my lunch menu, if that were the second graphic, let's have that play from 12 p.m. then for the rest of the day. In this example, I don't need this content. I just have two menus, and that's how easy it was to set up. Now, let's say I'm happy with the schedule that I created for Sunday. I want that to play on Monday as well. I don't need to even redo it. I can just go here and copy Sunday over to Monday, confirm. And now Monday's set up the same way. So it's really, really quick and easy to set up content scheduling is the takeaway, if that's something that you want to do. Let's go back to playlists. Now we see our manufacturing floor playlist, and the break room and front lobby I already had set up. So our last step is going to be back to home, and now we want to add a player to play this playlist we created. So again, we hit the blue button. Let's go down here to players, and now I'm going to set up my player. So I'm going to name it Justin Safari, because I'm on a Mac. We're in the Safari browser. And now the next thing I need is the pin. Now this pin code is going to appear on any version of XOGO Player. So if you're running it on a Windows machine, a Fire Stick, in a web browser, it's all going to look the same. So what we want to do here is we're going to copy this 6-digit pin, and we'll go over here and paste it. Normally that would be appearing on your TV screen that's connected to your XOGO Mini, for example. We're going to set the time zone. I have a software license. Player groups, we're going to touch on another time. We're going to leave this in default. It is actually possible to group players together and then assign things like playlists to them all at once. We're going to tell it what playlist to play. So we just made one called Manufacturing Floor. Let's play that. And it's worth noting we do support both landscape and portrait mode. So a lot of restaurants, for instance, will run portrait mode menus that look really nice. In our case, we're leaving it on landscape. That's what all of our content was. We can also go advanced, by the way. And if you wanted to, if you're leaving your players on 24/7, you might want to set a daily reboot time. So we might set this to just 9 a.m. So every day when I walk in, my player reboots, and then if you're leaving it playing videos for weeks at a time, you don't have to worry about the screens ever going dark because there was a RAM leak issue or something. So it's recommended but not required. Let's go ahead and click on Save now. Now I'm going to go back to my home screen. You'll now see these two players in here. This one has a green lightning bolt because it's currently online. This one has a red one because it's been offline for more than a day. There's also an intermediary stage if it's offline for more than an hour, less than 4 hours, and then we're actually going to see it turn kind of a yellow amber color. Now let's go back over to our player tab. And now you're going to see we have that currently we're on the JPEG image. We had 2 videos loaded in here and an Instagram feed as well. So if we let this play for 15 seconds, it's going to start to cycle through the other content. So that's really
the soul of BMW.
To turn the audio off there. That's really how easy it is to set up your content and get it playing on a XOGO player. Stay tuned because we're going to have a lot more short tutorials on some of the new features and functionality in XOGO Manager 3, but this is it for today. So contact us anytime at support.xogo.io or via the friendly chat bot in the bottom right hand corner of our website and of XOGO Manager, and we'll be happy to help with any questions or technical issues that you have. Thanks again for using XOGO.